Hi, parents of grade 8. I hope you guys are doing very well with your new kids in high school, especially for the first-time parents who are having kids at grade 8. It can be very exciting and nerve-wracking for both parent and the kids. So it took long so that everybody can be able to settle in at their schools, because most of the time at the beginning of the year, everyone wants to give information. There's stationery, there's the code of conduct at school. You are still trying to learn the child is still trying to learn the anthem and all those kind of stuff. So normally I think it's better if I share the information just around February, when everybody is settled, everybody knows their routine and the routes to school, the transport is sorted, all those kind of things. They matter into make anyone stable or stability. So I wanted to share, based on my experience. I'm honestly not an expert on the education world, but I think I'm a parent, and I became a parent that is involved on the SGB, especially on the academic side of things and the discipline side of things. And I think based on that, it has opened up a world that I was not even aware of as an ordinary parent. And it has also gave me a preview of things that are happening behind the scenes with the teachers, with the kids at school and all that as an SGB. So for me, I'm just going to share based on that kind of experience or work that I've worked for the last 3 years. So one of the main things that the grade 8 parents that maybe they would need to look at when they're arriving, most of the kids, they are on their prime stage of teen. Like my daughter turned 13 in September, she's going for 14, so she's in the prime of her teen stage, which is they're trying to find themselves. And while that is exciting, and also we're happy that they are growing, also the world is also waiting for them on the same stage of finding themselves. So if we don't put foundations, or we don't constantly communicate with them and find out where they are, somebody else might take that opportunity and teach them something else. It can be a positive thing or a negative thing. So they're in a prime, basically, stage of where they absorb everything, because they're trying to find who they are as an individual. So this finding themselves, this also trying to fit in the new world, high school and all that, comes with responsibilities as well. And most of the kids, that's where they start not coping, and the parents, they also start seeing a different character of their child. This is not my child from primary, what's going on and all that. And it's normal. They are changing, and they're no longer babies that they were in primary. If you remember, in primary, they're kind of like egg-shelled, micromanaged. But in high school, it's a different ball altogether. And we also prepare them for varsity, where they're going to be actually on their own completely. So what are the things that you need to do as a parent of grade 8 that is starting a new school? I'm sure most of the schools have emailed and they have meetings, and they've mentioned code of conducts. Those are the things that you just need to continually have a chat with your kids. They need to have to respect. They need to know and respect their code of conduct. There's something else, to know. When you know something, it's and understand it, it becomes easy for you to actually respect it, not even to follow it. Most of kids, they are just following the rules because they are told to. But if, as a parent, you are able to know what are the code of conducts of your school and what do they mean to you and your child, and it becomes easy to respect them. It becomes easy to question things if you are not happy with something, because you have a better understanding. So we need to choose. Also, second thing that I wanted to share, let's teach our children to choose the right friends. I mentioned that they are at the prime stage of their lives, where they're trying to find themselves, which is they're going to try to fit in on certain circles. They will be missing their friends from primary that are not in the same high school. Or if they're in the same high school, the other friends have found the other friends. You might find that they are no longer with the friends that they were having in primary. And that also can be a good thing, or they can find the wrong friends. What do I mean about the wrong friends? At high schools, any of them at this point in the world globally, kids are using substance abuses. Kids are involved on sexual harassment. Kids are involved on bullying. All these kids that are bullying, all these kids they are coming from homes. They are somebody else's child. So, and they're at our schools. So those are the things that now we need to start teaching our kids at the grade 8, that they preferable if they can have friends on the same grade as themselves, because remember now they are in grade 8 and their seniors are going up to grade 12. So they can easily idealize a grade 12 that is actually very matured for themselves, and that can influence them to be on a wrong behavior. I mean, I'm talking about bullying, fighting in the class, bunking in the class. There's a lot of bunking for kids for class, in terms of like after break, they don't get into the class on time, or they arrive late at school. Remember, they have a freedom. Some of them now are using, like my daughter is using a transport after school or in the morning sometimes. So my city bus. So things like that, they make them to test other things as well. So you need to teach them that they need to know what kind of friends they're having, and able to learn to say no if they are finding themselves in an uncomfortable position where they are being introduced on things that they know are not accepted at home. And have a comfortable conversation there, more than a conversation that will make them to fear to come to you and share about things. Find ways to search how are they doing at school and all those kind of stuff. It kind of helps you for them to open up if you are at ease as well. So don't always come as a, what did you do at school? Why this and all that? Be scared of it. No, that's how sometimes we were taught. Be scared. I don't want you closer to the boys. But no one actually sits down and explain to you why maybe I don't want to be close, why I shouldn't be closer to the boys, because they are humans and I play with other boys at school. I never saw anything wrong. So until someone else explains to you in a way that is educational and coaching, it becomes better for the kids to understand. And one of the things that they're also going to try to, a third point, is to prove themselves, that they are big girls, especially for boys. They want to throw themselves that they are big men. And there's a lot of words that are used, like they are told they're snitch, they are chicken, they are baby. So they will struggle to go and report a situation that they are facing at school. So if they are scared to do that, there must be an option for them at home. So always open that room, that no matter what happened at school, come and tell me. Even if you are in the wrong, I'd rather know so that I can be able to assist you. So open that room and keep on telling them that when they are reporting a situation, or when they are forced to do a certain behavior and they disagree, they are not chickens, they are not babies, and they are not snitches as well. So keep on plugging that on them, because it's very rife in high school, because they are trying to prove themselves. And then remember as a parent that our kids, they went to school to study, to learn the actual academics and develop themselves. So that means I will never stop preaching that let's bring disciplined kids. Yes, kids are gonna try to have mischiefs and all that, but you can tell a child that is coming from a family that has discipline, that has order. It makes things easy for the school to navigate a lot of things. I'm going to mention things that you need to look out for in terms of the things that the kids that normally break their code of conduct, especially in high school. Most of these high schools, they do allow kids to carry cell phones, but not during the school time. At my school, the gate closes at 7:55. That means once you enter that gate, you should not be having your phone on. And then the school finishes at 2:30, that means you open your phone after 2:30. And most of the parents, they're giving their kids cell phones so that they can be able to be in contact, especially they are using public transport, so they want to be able to communicate for emergency or anything like that. However, at the schools, is becoming a huge issue. I know there's a school, St. Mary, I think it's in Pretoria or in Gauteng. They've banned the phones in their schools. There was a letter that was circulating on the social networks. It's not the only school. There's a lot of schools that have already taken a step to ban the phones at school, that the kids should not carry them at school at all, because there's a lot of distractions that comes with phones. They use the phones in the class, which is already, it distracts the whole class. That means the teacher now needs to give attention to this child that is carrying a phone, and that takes almost 10 minutes of the teacher's teaching time because of one child or few children that are using cell phone. And secondly, they are taking videos either of a teacher, which is wrong. It's not supposed to be happening, even on Poppy Act and all that. Or they take the videos or circulate information with WhatsApp groups of their friends and all that, of a child in the class or at the school and all that, and the bullyism also as well can be easily recorded. All these things are, most of they're happening during the school time. I have been on cases where, as a disciplinary person at school, where I had to deal with cases that escalated in a higher level because of the use of a cell phone. So substance abuse is one of the highest that is happening, not just in Western Cape or in my school or anywhere, but it's globally as well again. So I need to keep on emphasizing that this is not about my school. It's about the sectors that I move around, the way that I'm reading news. But does this happen only at my school, or is it happening everywhere else? Substance abuse is becoming one of the highest on the kids. And why I'm mentioning it at grade 8. Higher grade kids, sometimes they come and introduce the substance abuse to these new kids. They are vulnerable. So of course they're going to be telling them that, oh, there's a lot of work at school, high school, so you need something to calm you down. I've got something for you that can help you to calm down, and then you don't have to anxiety, and it will help you to be able to study better. That's how your child gets introduced on substance abuse, or on substance, whatever that can be, weed or dagga, or it can be anything that is introduced to your child. So keep on checking your child and keep on teaching your child. There's another thing that I wanted to mention as well, the disrespect. There's something else when a child breaks a code of conduct, which is we can always teach the child and maybe get a punishment or whatever that needs to be done based on the level of the transgression. But there's something else about the disrespect, where you find that the kids, they have no regard of an adult. Our kids are becoming like that, especially again that they are having that freedom of being themselves in high school. So it becomes a problem. I think we also experience it in our homes, where you would ask a child, can you please go and do something else, and then they just disregard you. They don't even sometimes respond, or they just close themselves on their cell phones and all those kind of stuff. Most of the time, we as parents, we see this behavior at our home, and we don't attend to it. Now what happens is that it transfers to the school, and they think that it's okay to disrespect a teacher. So our kids, we need to be in a position where we tell them that it is unacceptable. What is not acceptable in my home is also not acceptable at school, or any other home for that matter that you are visiting, or a place that you are going to. So those are another thing that I wanted to bring. I think peer pressure, I already mentioned, where you're trying to fit in, and there's a lot of fighting that can happen because they're trying to stand their grounds and all that. So teach your kids, firstly, when they are noticing that they're being picked up by other kids, to report it at the office at their soonest, rather than creating a fight. Because if your child fight at school, as much as that maybe the child was provoked, but the child did fought at school, and according to the code of conduct, you shouldn't be fighting at school. So there will be some consequences maybe, or that will happen for your child. even though maybe in a situation they could have been defending themselves, but eventually they will have to meet a DC person for fighting at school. Then why the fighting can be established later on. I mentioned the binding of classes and the late coming. Just keep it in mind, most of the grade 8s, I'm not frustrated that much because parents are still also very highly involved. The grades that we normally have problems are the higher grades, like from grade 10 upwards. And the uniform issues that keep on crippling. Our kids are trying to have a certain trend. Like right now at our school, we were talking with the kids that we don't want accessories like kids hanging on their pants because it's a style or something like that. A uniform is a uniform, and one of the main reasons that I think most of the kids, they don't understand, uniform, it brings the image of a school, and it also brings a discipline at the school as well, and also even around, you're able to identify as well the child of that school. So it brings honor. That's one thing that we need to keep on teaching our kids, that you are honoring your school with your uniform. So you cannot do things that are out of place. You cannot go and sit in the parks with a school uniform. We told our son that, listen, if you want to go and socialize with your friends after school, come home and take off your uniform. Ask for permission that you want to go and visit your friends. But during the week, we just don't do that. But most of kids, I've seen many kids, even myself, not just on my school, I've seen kids strolling along at 8:10 in a park, and in my understanding, according to South African schools, they start at 8, most of them. So it's shocking when you see kids at 8:15 in a park. And I know that time that the parents are at school, so I cannot say that the parents have just let them to sit in the park. No parent can actually do that. But let's continue teaching our kids, and they need to understand that should I find you in a position where you are doing that, there will be consequences. Another thing that I wanted to share, especially for boys and the girls, in fact, that there's a sexual harassment that is starting to creep in with the kids, where they would touch each other, grope each other, and all those kind of stuff. Let's try to teach our kids not to do such things, because your child will have a record at high school for sexual harassment. And it's devastating when you are seeing the parents going through that and shocked that actually my child did this. So that's what I wanted to share in terms of behavior at schools and all that. What assistance that we need from parents? As I said, that let's take this as a co-parenting, because sometimes we think that we are just sending kids to school. No, actually we are co-parenting with the school is co-parenting with our children. So that means we need from parents the co-parenting feature to be actually highly visible. So that means be involved, cooperate. If there's an email that's sent about your child, before you can go on a blog, read the information, find out what happened from your child, get also this child's story, because not every time that maybe the school will be right. So find out the story, your child. And then if you sense by any chance that your child is lying, be honest with it. Listen, this is serious. The school has emailed, so you need to tell me the truth so that I know what I'm talking about at school. Cooperate with that information at school, because the school are not there to try to out your child or anything like that. They are trying to, in fact, to assist your child to change the behavior so that he can be a better person. We need to be honest and clear on our communication. I think I've already mentioned it that when you get the information, be honest about it so that you can be able to work together. The school is there to develop your child, so is supposed to be your responsibility as well. So communicate as much as you can. Please get involved at your school. Like I'm in SGB, I got involved at the grade 9, but even at grade 8, I was already involved on other activities. I cannot stress it enough. The school, they need parents to be hands-on, those who are available. I know parents, they are busy. They are sometimes coming back at work late. Please provide any service that it doesn't even need your physical assistance. If you are like we are normally having functions at our school, find out if we need water for the boys, like for the girls and the boys, for the I'll keep on saying boys because my son is doing grade 11. I've been managing a boy, but now I've just joined with a girl. She will give me an eye, in fact, if I cannot mention that I've got a girl as well. But my point is that the parents get involved. If you know that you are good on a certain subject and you think that you can assist the kids, like on the maths, or people that can tutor, please forward the name at your school that I've got these services like job shadowing, career advices that my company can offer. So can you bring kids at your school? That is a service. Completely, that is a service. I noticed that you guys are doing hockey, tennis, and whatever. We as 10 parents, can we donate hockey sticks? That is the involvement that I'm talking about. Be involved on the sports activities and festivals at your school. Kids actually, they get happy when they are seeing their parents being there. So that is basically I wanted to share. But more than anything, please let your children know that it's such a very beautiful thing. My son, it was so nice to hear my son saying, advising my daughter that, Naledi, you are going to enjoy high school. It's very nice. I'm having the best time of my life at high school. And I remember the beginning, there were a lot of hiccups. I don't know how many emails I got from grade 8. So I've learned from that. Hence, I'm sharing this video. The last thing that I have introduced to the parents of the, let me take my lady's one. To the parents of grade 8 is this weekly planner. The weekly planner, it works like this, that you put the time that the child starts school from 8 o'clock. I will put it on the email, or I'm trying to put it on a link that you can be able just to link and open it, and then you can make changes based on your child's activities and your home setup, because setups are different. This is my home setup, but I know that all the schools, as I mentioned, they start at 8, so you can put the school times 8 o'clock and until the time the school finishes. That you're mostly not in control. That's that co-parenting I was talking about. So now on your weekly planner, you will have my school. I'm going to make an example with my school. My son finishes the school at 2:30 on Mondays. So I already put from 2:30 on the weekly planner up to 9 p.m. at night, which is the time they sleep. This helps you for your child to be in control and also be in control or in charge. Even if you're at home or not at home, even if you are traveling or not, the weekly planner helps you to be able to let your child accountable. Like, for example, if you know that you have a discussion with your child, you're going to say that according to the weekly planner, you should be at home after the school is finished at 4 or 5. Like my son normally arrives at 4 if he's playing sport. Then if he's not playing sport, normally is at home by 3:30, which is the school finishes at 2:30 and he chooses to walk to home. So that means that's almost an hour to 45 minutes to an hour. So we have discussed that as well. It helps a lot because you will know when he's changing the timelines of coming home, sitting in the park and all that. We have a lot of things in our mind. So the weekly planner helps you to be able to go back and revert and say, oh, according to here that you're supposed to be home at 4, but I'm finding you are not at home. So what happened? That already you are picking up a certain behavior and you are able to nip it in the bud while it's still starting. And then also, now on the weekly planner tells me that, okay, when he's arriving home, maybe he's resting, having dinner. It depends what time are you guys having dinner at your home. Then there's a slot of 1 hour where we have put it as, we said that it's for studying, homework and study time, which is, that means the child can, if there's no homework, there is still a study time. So this is where they are using that time to to do what do you call it, the work, to do the subject that maybe they're struggling with or whatever that is, but it could be school related. At that time, they shouldn't be having their gadgets. If they are having a table, even if it's in the kitchen, I don't have a table in my space, but my table in the kitchen is big enough for my 2 kids to be able to sit and do their schoolwork. It's not a homework, it's a schoolwork. It's a slot for a schoolwork. So you should not be getting kids who are gonna say, I don't have a homework. What are you doing the following day? I'm gonna show you now what I did with my kids. They don't like me, trust me. This is their timetable, a school timetable. So I normally ask, which day of your timetable are you doing tomorrow? Mom, I'm doing day 1. So then on day 1, that means that day they're gonna have geography, maths, LO, history, and English and NS. So which subject that frustrates you out of the subject that you are doing tomorrow? You can say, Mommy, it's physics. Then can you please at your study time practice physics? You can do the chapter that you're gonna do it in the class tomorrow. It helps you to be able to have a better memory, and you are a step ahead in terms of understanding. So you can even be able to have questions to the teacher because you have touched your work a day before. So always try to highlight the subject that you know that they're struggling with and prepare them a day before that timetable. It helps a lot. Or if there's a homework then for the subject, then they go ahead. Most of the grade 8s, actually all the grades, they are having homeworks, but they will always say, I finish it at school. Open the book and check, it's a study time. Let's check the book. Since you have finished the school, can I see the homework that you have finished at school? Be random about it. Then they get used to it. One thing I'm going to highlight, I will have a separate video where I will actually analyze the whole weekly planner, because I don't want to have a long video for the grade 8s, is that it's frustrating the first 3 weeks. They don't want, kids, they don't like order. They don't want to be told that, they don't want to find themselves that they need to be accountable for any behavior, for anything, especially that is involving school. You should see my kids when I'm bringing this, the whole tone changes, the whole face is long and what. So you will get that, but be persistent. And most of the thing, I just take off their gadget and switch off my Wi-Fi. People then they start cooperating. After 3 weeks, so give it a 3 weeks, it's going to be frustrating for yourself as well. And also now you're going to get annoyed. You're like, oh, do I really need to follow this all the time? Just be patient. Eventually, the kids, they start getting the idea of the main thing of why they need to do this. So that is all that I wanted to share with the grade 8 parents. Just enjoy this grade, but keep them involved, and please to prevent kids not to shouting, make them to prepare everything a day before, so then in the morning you're having a better and easy morning. And thank you very, very, very much. I will share the video for the weekly planner. I think it will be shorter than this video. Thank you.